back to the channel. I'm so glad all of you can join me today on here again, where it's all about collecting physical media, Blu-rays, 4Ks, and DVDs, as you can see, from all over the world. Thanks for coming back to my channel, and we've got an exciting one today. Today we're going to be deep diving into Greenland on 4K, and I really enjoyed this movie, and if you've seen the movie, I'll give you a brief rundown of it before we dive into the exciting data and all the interesting things about what this set has in it. But Greenland's kind of a disaster thriller with a little bit of mystery survival movie, and I'm kind of a sucker for a lot of these like survival disaster movies. I've grown up watching them. There's been dozens over time, and there's some that are good, some that are not so good, and this one I feel like was a well done one. I actually felt like it went from a different aspect of surviving a disaster, an end of the world type movie, because it was more about just a small family, not about tons of people doing this or that. It was very contained to that one family, and I did enjoy it. I really do like Gerard Butler. I really thought he was good in it, and I really liked Morena Baccarin as well. I liked her from Firefly, and she's been a great actress. I just don't get to see as many movies with her because it doesn't seem like she has that many that are coming out that it was something I was interested in. And this one she's in, and I thought they were a good pairing together, and I thought the child actor that was in it that plays their son did a phenomenal job as well. And it's a great thing when you find a child actor that you really believe is in peril, or not that you're wanting a child to be in peril, but I'm saying in the movie you want it to be realistic. And the child actor in this did a phenomenal job. And I'm not going to give anything away if you haven't seen it, but there is some heart-wrenching scenes, as always in these disaster, end-of-the-world thrillers. And I thought that kid did a great job with some of his work. There's a scene that gets me about halfway through the movie that was like, whoa. I mean, like, it was an intense scene, but the kid did such a great job with it, and it was believable. And I think that's where Greenland really sold itself on, is as a disaster film. It really was done well, and the special effects look great in it. And I wanted to own this on 4K, but this did not come out regularly in the US on disc. And so it's been hard to get a hold of, and I've talked about this briefly on the channel before. There was a release that had come out last year after the movie came out in 2020, and it was actually released in Scandinavia and Norway and things like that. And I imported it, and it was region locked. And I'm going to get that out of the way right now so that way all of you know this. And this is what's so exciting about this release that you're all, I'm sure, wanting to know about. This release is region free. And I've got more than just to say that it's region free, because here's another exciting thing. You notice the set has a Blu-ray in it as well. The Blu-ray in it is region free as well. So if you owned a US set, or you owned a set from somewhere else in the country of the regular Blu-ray release that come out, you don't need that anymore. It has the Blu-ray that is region free as well. So even if you don't have 4K yet, but you're wanting to future-proof yourself like I talked about, this has the Blu-ray that's region free as well, which is great. So in this complete set, all of it was tested and all of it is region free. I tested on all of my Blu-ray players. So my region A, my region B, my region C, my Xbox Series X, my Xbox One X, my PS4, and my PS5. Played on all of them, both discs, no issues whatsoever. So if you buy this, doesn't matter where you live in the world, you'll be able to watch this on any device. And I'm going to go through the specs on the disc, tell you what I thought about the quality of the discs, the sound, things like that. So make sure you stick around with me here. We've got a lot of exciting things to cover here. So I'm going to cover something real quick with all of you, so stick right here with me. Please make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Let me know that you enjoyed this video and the work that I put in behind this, the testing and everything. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up for me. And don't forget to click that subscribe button and the bell notification right next to it. That way you don't miss out on any of this exciting hidden content about all of these exclusive releases from all over the world that you're only going to find on my channel. So make sure you click that subscribe button and the bell notification so you don't miss finding out about any of these hidden and great releases that I'm the only one reviewing. So make sure you click that subscribe button. As always, I will have all of the links posted down in the description section below this video for this set. And especially for this set, it's very important. That link down there is the matching one to this set. There is other ones that look identical from other countries that are the region locked sets. So if you're wanting to buy this, make sure you click through the link that's down in the description section right below this video, because that is the specific link for this exact region free set. And there's only one of these that is made by this company that is region free. And I always put down below in the description section of every review I do the exact link for the exact item I bought that I reviewed. That way you know you're getting the exact same item that I'm reviewing, not one that might be region locked. So as always, those are always down in the description section below this video, so make sure if you're gonna get it, you go down there. And you can always follow me on my Instagram or my Facebook, which is the name of the channel, In Search of Physical Media. And it's the same on both of those, and I post extra content on there, extra hidden things, different things I get in. So if you want some extra content about collecting physical media, make sure to follow me on one of those. Let's dive right back into this now. All right, so as I was talking about, both discs being region free is huge. So I'm gonna touch that one more time. Both discs are region free. And on the back here, it actually even says it region free. A, B, and C, both the Blu-ray and the 4K. So that's unique because I was talking about the one that was released in Scandinavia previously and some of the other Norwegian countries. That one was region locked, even the 4K. So that's where a lot of people were upset, and there's been a lot of talk about it. A lot of people came on here on my channel saying, oh, there's no such thing as region locked 4Ks. There is. Some of the countries, especially Scandinavia, is region locking them. Don't know why. They're doing it outside of the rules of what it's supposed to be, but they did. So this is the only release. So as I talked about just a few minutes ago, if you're wanting to pick this up, make sure you go to the link down in the description section below this video. That is for this exact region-free set. The other one looks identical. And so the only way to know is it's by Tobis, which is the company, which it doesn't list it on most of the websites. So I put the Amazon link down there to make it easy. So that way you don't get mixed up and get the wrong set and get the region locked one. Because the first set I got was region locked, and that was the one I got from Norwegian. And I actually ended up returning it because I didn't like the idea that it was region locked. And so it did work in my region free Blu-ray player, but I didn't like that idea, and I found out this one was coming out. So I wanted to get it for the channel to test it, and I was so excited when I found out it was region free because I knew that all of you would be excited because the other one wasn't. And this is the only 4K Ultra HD release of Greenland that's available that's region free. So as I said, that'll be listed down there in the description section if you want to pick this up. That's the link you're going to want to use so that way you don't get the wrong one. Now it's got Greenland in English on the front, Gerard Butler. Talks about the producer of John Wick, you know, director of Angel Has Fallen, things like that. It's a nice 4K case, says Greenland in English on the side. Now the cover is reversible, and I've been showing up above. It has a sticker on it on the other side that's the green, like, it's basically their logo for what the rating of the movie was. I always switch it to their reversible covers when I buy things from other countries or buy them and have them imported, whatever the case is. In this case, I got it on Amazon US, which is that link down there, but it does come with a reversible cover. So I switch it around, that way it looks just kind of like the English release does for the Blu-ray, and I like it. So same thing, English on the side. Then on the back, it talks about, in German, a lot of the, basically, story, but then it goes through the specs on this. And that's what I'm going to dive into here for a minute before I go into my review score and then what I thought of the actual quality of it. We're going to get into here. As far as the film goes, it's 120 minutes long. So it's a good paced movie. It's not too long. Like some of the disaster films that I've seen over the years, you can get into like the 2.5, 3 hours, 4 hours. I mean, heck, I've seen some that are 5 hours. And I'll be honest, for disaster films, I feel like you got to keep them around at most that maybe 2 hours and 45 minutes at most. I feel like when you get into 3 hours, that's too long for a disaster film. But this one keeps it moving. And that's why I said it's kind of like a thriller. It really just kept the story moving. You were always waiting for what's coming next, what's going to happen next. And I said the characters you just really like. And I really enjoyed it. And I've been collecting disaster films for years. And so it's one of those things that this one ranks up there with some of my favorite disaster films. It does go into the specs on this for bonus materials. You get things like behind the scenes galleries, you get making of, tons of different trailers, B-rolls, deleted scenes, and interviews. And they all have the option to switch between English and German on the special features. So I always love that. You're not limited to having it only in one language. You can switch between whichever you want. Then it talks about on here, it's in the original aspect ratio of 2:39:1, and looks good. That had no issues with that, and here's why. It's in the 24 frames per second. The natural, there's no speed up, there's nothing. It's 24 frames per second the way it's supposed to be. Now, this is a native 4K with HDR10. So the HDR10 looked great on it, and the asteroids coming down and the explosions, and man, there's some explosions. And that HDR10, I mean, it comes out of your 4K TV and just looks beautiful with the different color depths and things like that in it. It did look really, really good with the HDR10. And over the Blu-ray that is on not only this, but then the other Blu-ray releases in the US and other countries, this 4K representation, the native 4K, blows that one away. I mean, you're talking over 4 times the pixels anyways versus the 1080p. And just that alone with all the HDR10 and what they did for it, it does look really good. And for a disaster film, if you've ever seen one, because a lot of it's special effects along the way, it really makes a difference making those special effects look lifelike. And then the 4K then making it not have any like DNR or too much basically blocking or anything like that. And they did a good job with the transfer on this. I didn't see any of it. There was no issues with the special effects in it. The explosions were nice and smooth and buttery and beautiful looking. And I really enjoyed it. And I was hoping, because I liked the movie, I was hoping that I was going to be able to get it on 4K in a region-free set for the channel, because I know a lot of you like to collect these. And when a smaller company like Tobis released this, I was excited to get this. And that's something I'm going to touch on here for a second. Because this is kind of like, I don't want to call it a boutique label company, but it is a smaller company. And I've talked about this on the channel before with a lot of these 4K releases that I'm doing. Smaller companies are doing these. They're doing a phenomenal job with them, just like the Princess Bride one that I did. That was a phenomenal release that they released that you can check that review out on the channel. That 4K is beautiful. It's not available anywhere else. I have the link on that one also below in the description section, and it has an Amazon USA link as well. But they're doing these in small batches. And that's where you pay a little more for a boutique label type release of a 4K in a small batch, because it's something they're doing. They're paying all the licensing rights, and there's a lot that goes behind it. And so they do charge a little more for these. But that's the fun of collecting these for me, is that I've got something that, just like a lot of you know, you're not going to see this. A lot of people aren't going to have this. So you have somebody over to your house and you pull out a disc like this and you say, man, I got Greenland on 4K. Somebody's like, what? That's not even available in the US. Well, yeah, I got it. You want to watch it. And I think that's exciting. And that's why I get so excited about all of these releases, hidden releases, unknown releases that people just don't know about. And this is one of them that I was thrilled to pick up. I was glad that it turned out so well too. So going back into this though, it is at the 24 frames per second, so you don't have any speed up, nothing. When you play this, it's just like you bought it in the USA, and it looks beautiful though. And the HDR10 representation on it was clean, crisp. The shades between the different colors of the explosions is drastically different than the Blu-ray was. And that's where the explosions and things like that make a big difference when you have HDR and the different color grading on a 4K. Because there's so much more color range they can use that make things stand out. And the lights to darks varying between, and when an explosion gets really bright, it looks like it's like searing your eyeballs almost, the nits on it. It's great. So it did look good in that sense. Audio quality on this now. It does have English DTS HD Master Audio 5.1. And it sounded crisp and clean the entire way through. I had no issues hearing any of the special effects, and it did rock my living room. So I watched this on my Panasonic UB820. And if you want me to plug that just for a second, if you want a #1 recommendation for my favorite all-time 4K Blu-ray player, and I have one that's region free, but they do have it regularly, I have links for that posted down in the description section for the exact Blu-ray player I watch these 4Ks on. That Panasonic UB820 makes films look amazing. The actual basically software and chipset they have in it makes it look even better than most 4K Blu-ray players can make it look. So if you're wanting a recommendation, my recommendation for the best, hands down, 4K Blu-ray player you can get that makes 4Ks look stunning, it would be the Panasonic UB820. And I always post those down in the description section below this video, what I personally use. That way you know what I watch these on. But that's the one that I used to watch this on, and it looked beautiful through that. And the sound was just crisp and clean. I didn't have any issues. The only thing I will point out about it is the beginning of the movie, where there's not much explosions or anything like that. It's basically lots of talking that gets the movie started as they're introducing you to the characters and what's going on with the family and the tenseness between the family before any of this even starts. It's a quieter film to start with. So I started the film off where I normally watch movies, and then I had to actually turn it down just a little bit, because once you get to the point where there's asteroids and explosions and gunshots and things like that, it was loud. And it was, I mean, I'm talking my bass was rumbling and the room was rumbling, and I like it. It's a great sound mix on it, and it did sound great. And that's in English and in German. So you can choose either. So if you speak German, you want it in German, you can do that. And I got another exciting thing. It does have subtitles. So if you want to watch it in English with subtitles, you can watch it in English with subtitles. You can watch it in German with German subtitles, or you can mix and match them. You can do German audio with German subtitles or vice versa. So those of you that want subtitles, it comes with those completely on the film, which is great for those of you that need subtitles. Now, on the 4K disc for this, it is on a BD66 4K disc, which was plenty of room because the movie's 120 minutes with the special features, plenty of room for it. There was no overcompression and no issues whatsoever. And the Blu-ray disc for this set is on a BD50 Blu-ray disc. Going inside the case here to show you what's inside, this is how it comes. So you basically get your two discs, you got your 4K on this side, and then you got your Blu-ray over here. And they're held up perfectly fine. Mine arrived with no issues whatsoever from Amazon. It wasn't damaged, the case wasn't damaged, there's no inserts or anything on it, which I'm fine with because, to be honest with you, what I wanted was this film in 4K because I do like disaster flicks. And this is your 4K disc. Obviously, it has the green logo on it for their age rating in the country in Germany where it was originally basically produced on 4K. And then obviously on this one, this is your Blu-ray. And that's what you've got inside it, and then your reversible cover that has that green logo on the outside like what I was talking about. So a very nice case, a very nice 4K representation for it. And this set just came out here in 2021. So even though the film came out in 2020 and was a huge hit, the actual 4K disc that's region-free was just recently released here a couple of weeks ago. I got mine in and did the review right away to get this out as fast as possible to you all because this is a brand new release. The older release that came out last year was the one that was in Scandinavia, Norway, and things like that. That one's the one that's not region-free. This one, though, is the region-free set. And I do recommend picking this up. If you like disaster films or you just like family dramas even. I mean, there's a lot of just family drama going on, and it just had a great story. And as far as disaster flicks go, this one ranks up there in my top 5 of disaster flicks that I've seen. That's how much I did enjoy this. I thought the actors were great in it and very believable, and I thought the story was great. Now, as far as my review score goes for this set, the image quality on this was superb. Over the Blu-ray, there's really no comparison. If you have the Blu-ray, that's great, but if you have a 4K TV and you're wanting to future-proof yourself, this is the set I would suggest getting. Because it's limited runs that these smaller companies do, I can't tell you how long this is going to be available. I don't know the company Tobis. I've never gotten something from them before. This is the first 4K release I've ever gotten, and it looks amazing. No issues whatsoever, and the HDR10 they did a great job with. So as far as this goes, I would suggest picking it up while you can. And my review score for this set is going to be a 9.4. I enjoyed the film that much, and I enjoyed this set so much that there wasn't any issues. Because they made that Blu-ray disc region-free as well, I loved that. Because a lot of the times, sometimes you might get a 4K Ultra HD from another country or something like that, and they'll region lock that Blu-ray. In this case, they didn't. All of it's region-free, everything. And opposed to that Scandinavian release that was of Greenland, I was really disappointed in that one because they region locked the Ultra HD. Well, in this one, it's completely region-free. And that's a huge bonus because guess what? I got both of them. I didn't have to keep my Blu-ray from the US. I got rid of that. And now I've got it all right here. And that's a big bonus for this. So 9.4 is an absolutely great score for this release. And I highly recommend this is a must-buy to add to your 4K collection. Because as a 4K movie goes, audio quality, visual quality, and the movie itself was great. And if you like disaster, survival films, and just entertaining films in general, it's a great popcorn flick. And the special effects were believable and really, really cool in it. And so as far as that goes, 9.4 for this release. And I'm going to recommend something else while we're talking about this here. I recently got 2012, and this is another 4K release of another disaster flick. And I just want to talk about this for a real quick second. So 2012 is another like kind of end of the world disaster flick, and I enjoyed this one. Now, will I say I enjoyed it as much as Greenland? No. So this one I enjoyed, probably I'd say it was my 6th favorite disaster flick, and it's a good film. But if you like Greenland, you're going to want to pick up 2012 because this new 4K remaster that they did is also a stunner and looks great just like Greenland did. So I thought I'd plug this just for a second because a lot of you ask me about what other ones I recommend in categories of a film. So when I'm reviewing something like Greenland, this is something I'd say you'd want to pick up because it looked great. It's got basically obviously 3 discs in it. It's got your Blu-rays, it's got your Blu-ray of the film, then it's got your 4K of it. So again, you're future-proofed on this. It did come with a digital copy. So if you want your digital copy, it has it in this set as well. And it looks really, really good. They actually did a great job with the 4K on this. Now, I personally thought the special effects in 2012 were not as realistic looking as Greenland's were. But you're also talking about a way different time period between special effects. Greenland's was released in 2020. Whereas this came out many years ago. So as far as that goes, this does have Dolby Atmos sound in it as well. The Dolby Atmos mix on this was really good as well. So if you're wanting another recommendation of a good disaster flick that's just a fun time of just sitting back, watching things fall apart, watching the world get destroyed, watching things, people trying to escape and things like that, this one is not as much a personal story as Greenland was. You're getting more into the range of like it's thousands of people and all these people converging and all these things happening. And so This one's just a fun popcorn flick though, not as serious as Greenland was. So this is another recommendation if you want to pick this one up. It was a good film, and it is recommended by me if you like disaster flicks. Picking it up on 4K, it's got all your discs with it. You won't need to keep any of your Blu-rays if you have it, and then you're future-proofed. And this one just recently came out as well. And all of this one linked down in the description section as well. So if you go down there, I'll have the correct Greenland. I'm not going to list the Scandinavian region locked one at all. I don't want to mess anybody up, so I don't put those region locked ones when I talk about it if I'm not specifically reviewing that set. So I will only have the link down below for the Greenland region free one. So as long as you go through that link, you will be getting the exact one I reviewed and tested, so you don't get the wrong copy sent to you and then you have to fight with trying to get it returned and get the correct one. So if you want to pick it up, make sure to go down there through that link because that's where it'll be. And I'll put 2012 down there too if you decide you want to get this. It is recommended if you like disaster flicks on 4K. It looks pretty darn good. So if you have any questions, you have any comments, please make sure to comment down in the description section below. Get the conversation started down there. I always love hearing from all of you. I love hearing about your collections. I hope you enjoy hearing about mine and the reviews and what I find to help you guys collect. And I love helping all of you find these hidden releases because, to be honest with you, these smaller companies that are doing these are doing a great job. And there's a release coming out here really soon that I wanted to know if all of you wanted me to do a review on as well. I always try to give a little something special hidden at the end of every one of my videos. As all of you know that have watched this channel for a while, I always throw in extra hidden tidbits. So there's a 4K release of a movie coming out that I've seen numerous times and I already have on Blu-ray. It's called Prospect. And I'll show you the cover up above, and it's going to be a limited edition 4K release that's coming out. And I was thinking of getting it and doing the review on the channel if all of you are really interested in it. So please let me know in the comments section below if you want me to get it and do the actual review and unboxing of Prospect on 4K. And this is going to be another one of those limited edition by a smaller company that's doing this 4K Ultra HD release. And the movie itself, to give you an idea, is kind of a more down-to-earth sci-fi story in a very lived-in world. So it has a very similar feel to like Moon, that I've done a review on the channel earlier before in my top 10 sci-fi movies. Moon was a very similar feel. It's not the same story, but it's a very lived-in sci-fi world. So it's not big spaceships and explosions. It's more or less about, you know, a couple people on an alien planet trying to survive and things are happening. And it's an entertaining, good sci-fi film, but it's not a huge special effects blockbuster, but it's well done with the budget they had. So if you're wanting me to do a review on that film, to do a review on that 4K release that's coming out, make sure to comment in the section below, in the comment section, so I know. So that way if I get enough of you commenting that you want to see this, I'll go out and spend my money to buy that to actually do the review so you know what the quality of it is, what I thought about it, and the review score. So make sure to like this video, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and click that subscribe button down below. That way you don't miss out on any of this exclusive content on my channel here. And the bell notification right next to it, that way you get notified and can watch these reviews and be one of the first ones to hear about these. And as always, you can follow me on my Instagram or my Facebook, which is In Search of Physical Media, the name of the channel. And then all the links for all of this that I talked about will be listed down in the description section below this video as always. That way it makes it nice and easy for you so you don't get the wrong edition. And I had a great time today and I hope you had a fun time. As always, I hope all of you have a blessed day and I look forward to the time we get to do this again real soon.